Overnight will reduce costs.
And the Broncos are coming back to Mile High, but their injury list feels a mile long. The roster moves they're having to make before hosting the Colts on Thursday. Some devastating news for Javonte Williams, and there are others banged up as well. So they got to bounce back quickly. Thanks for joining us on this Tuesday morning. I'm Brian Sanders.
And I'm Nicole Brady. Let's get over to the forecast. Too early to predict a win on Thursday, Lisa, but it should be nice that day.
Yeah, and that is way out of my pay grade too, by the way. Yeah, a few showers possible today. Temperature-wise, it's going to be great for the game. I'll have that forecast coming up. Mainly to the south, that rain today. 70s and sunshine expected here on Thursday. It is going to be beautiful, and I'll have that tailgating forecast coming up. Right now from Westminster, you can see where we had a few clouds. You're going to find skies clearing out a bit. Upper 40s to low 50s right now. We're going to get into the upper 60s though here for highs today. There will be a chance for a few spotty showers, not only this afternoon, then also tonight. Overnight might wake up to some wet roads early tomorrow morning, and we'll be in the 50s, a few upper 40s early tomorrow. Coming up though, as skies clear out this week, things are going to warm up a little more. I'll show you just how warm it gets on Thursday, plus what to expect through this beautiful fall weekend that's coming up.
Just hearing of a new crash at Wadsworth and Evans, just south of Jules, so that's going to slow you down out the southwest side of town. Still looking at some delays across 270. Take a look from the camera there to Vasquez, and you can see from there, one, you see some of the clouds. We've actually had some low clouds and fog up to the north. That westbound side, we had a pothole repair right here, right over the railroad bridge, and that was blocking up the right lane. It backed up traffic so badly back onto I-70. You can see the extensive delays still not only there, but across I-70. So it's a pretty busy drive for us right now. Also seeing some pockets of slow and go on 36 on up into Boulder. That crash earlier one at Sheridan and I-76 is all cleared up and traffic's really easing up considerably. I-70 is still busy from all those folks trying to get away from 270. Take a look at I-225. They still are cleaning up this crash, that northbound side right here at Alameda. That's why traffic is still real heavy coming out of the Denver Tech Center.
I implore you to vote no on all 16 closures and come back to the drawing table with us.
Being in a small school has also allowed me to develop close relations with my teachers, some of which I maintain contact with even today.
Well, I was disappointed.
Yeah, tonight, parents and students will have another chance to plead with Jefferson County school officials to keep 16 elementary campuses open, which the district admits is not an ideal situation.
No, they say it's declining enrollment that's forcing their hand here. This morning we're going in depth. Now, since the list was announced in August, we've heard from parents worried that some of the schools being targeted for closure are poorer schools. I looked into that and found 52% of the kids at schools slated for closure are on free or reduced lunch. That's the average. Now, some schools it is much higher. 28% district-wide are on free and reduced lunch. So there is a disparity there for sure. Denver 7's Brandon Richard continues our coverage with a look at some of the big questions parents have.
Yeah, two of those meetings will take place tonight, including one here at Mulham Elementary. Now, Jeffco district leaders say the purpose of these meetings tonight is to give families from those consolidating schools an opportunity to get to know each other and build community. They say the meetings tonight, not the venue to actually debate the school closures themselves. They say there will be an opportunity for that later on. As we've shown you here over the last few weeks, some families are upset and disappointed about these schools closing and consolidating, some arguing it will disproportionately impact minority students. And now Wheat Ridge leaders joining them in opposing the closings. 3 of the schools slated to close are in Wheat Ridge. In a resolution last night, they urged the school board to vote no, and they want the district to come back with another plan. But district leaders say the closures are necessary due to declining enrollment. They say at some schools, there's only enough students to fill 1 classroom per grade. And they say some small schools lack resources like funding.
Our enrollment is just in a place where it continues to decline, and as we look to the future and the resources that we want to provide in our schools, consolidating, closing some schools was really the only way that we can get there.
And again, 2 meetings tonight, what the district calls community conversations. One will be at Peck Elementary starting at 5, another here at Mulham Elementary starting at 6, about a dozen more scheduled throughout the month of October. And district leaders say public hearings will be held in late October, early November. And they say at those hearings, community members can then debate whether or not their child's school should be closed. That's ahead of the board vote November 10th. We're live in Lakewood this morning. Brandon Richard, Denver 7.
Thank you, Brandon. It's not just families, but teachers who are worried about the closures. All of those teachers will have to reapply for their jobs next year. The president of Jeffco's Teachers Union told me the uncertainty is impacting teacher morale.
Educators will have to be, cannot just be placed. There has to be some mutual consent in there. And so I would really like to get these measures in place before the school board vote on November 10th, so that our school board members know that their educators are being taken care of, that their families are being taken care of.
And Brooke Williams told me she does not expect there to be any changes to the list of 16 schools, but they want to make sure teachers' voices are heard in the process. The board will take a yes or no vote on November 10th.
Turning to the effects of Hurricane Ian, sadly, the death toll is rising this morning. At least 103 people in Florida and the Carolinas were killed in the storm, and search and rescue operations are still underway nearly a week now after it made landfall as a powerful Category 4 hurricane.
There's more urban search and rescue teams in Florida now than in any one place in American history since September 11th.
That puts it in perspective. It all comes as President Biden plans to visit Florida tomorrow to survey the damage himself. The state of Florida has also created a disaster relief fund. So far, officials say it's raised over $21 million to help those impacted by the storm. And the state's largest utility company has pledged to get electricity restored to most homes by the end of the week. Denver 7 Gives is partnered with the Scripps Howard Fund for hurricane relief as well. You can make a donation by texting the word storm to 50155 and following the prompts there, or you can scan the QR code you see on your screen here, or you can simply visit denver7.com/hurricane relief.
Well, of course, a lot of Coloradans can relate to what Floridians are dealing with. People in Louisville, devastated by the Marshall Fire, are now getting some help rebuilding their homes. City Council unanimously passed an exemption for taxes on construction materials for those rebuilding. Nearly 600 homes in Louisville were damaged or destroyed in the Marshall Fire. We checked, though, and as of last week, only 48 rebuilding permits had been issued in Louisville so far. Well, it's a short week for the Broncos as they gear up to take on the Colts Thursday. And now they are dealing with a slate of injuries, including a season ender for running back Javonte Williams. Here's Denver 7 Sports Director Lionel Bienvenu.
Welcome to Denver 7 Sports. And the Broncos Training Center at Dove Valley is sponsored by UC Health. That's quite ironic because healthy is the last thing the Broncos are after the beating by the Raiders Sunday in Vegas. So many injuries to so many key players already. First, we had Tim Patrick and Justin Simmons, and now starting running back Javonte Williams is out for the season. He tore the ACL and the LCL in his right knee. He's going to need surgery and a long rehab. Just awful for Javonte and the Broncos. So they made a move, signing running back Latavius Murray from the Saints. He actually scored a touchdown Sunday in London, but he went back to the practice squad after the game, and the Broncos signed him. The 9-year vet has over 5,500 yards rushing and 50 touchdowns in his career. He won't see any action Thursday night against the Colts, though. It'll be Melvin Gordon. The same Melvin Gordon who fumbled Sunday, which the Raiders returned for the go-ahead touchdown. The same Melvin Gordon who leads the NFL with 4 fumbles in 4 games. Well, look, he's all they got for this week, and we'll see how he responds Thursday night.
Melvin's a true pro. I mean, this is a guy that's been doing this for a long time. He's harder on himself than anybody, and he's part of our team. I mean, we love the guy. I mean, he knows there was a mishap right there, and it's a great opportunity for him to get back out on the field and prove himself, and we're excited to be part of that.
Randy Gregory also injured his knee against the Raiders. He'll need a scope to see how bad it is, and he'll miss anywhere from 2 to 6 weeks. This injury list reads like War and Peace or Stephen King's It, and Russell Wilson is on it. The list. He took some hits in Vegas, listed with a right shoulder injury, but he's expected to be okay, and Coach Hackett said Russ will play on Thursday night. So here we go, Thursday night, primetime football right here on Denver 7. Pre-game coverage starts at 5, kickoff just after 6, and the big post-game show right after. Broncos-Colts on Denver 7 Thursday night. At Ball Arena Monday night, Nuggets' first preseason game against the Thunder, and Jamal Murray's first game in 539 days. Great to see the Blue Arrow back and in the corner and knocking down his first basket, a third rock, and smiles all over the place. Jamal scored 10 points. The Nuggets lost 112-101, but who cares? That doesn't matter. This does. All right, Rockies and Dodgers in L.A. looking to the future. Shortstop Ezekiel Tovar charging hard, and a cannon to first. Tovar to Michael Tolia for the out. That's them, Tovar and Tolia, the Toe Boys. The future is now. The only one missing was Tomater. All right, Monday Night Football, 49ers beat the Rams again, and the Manning cast was excellent again. But they had a little something else to talk about other than football. In the second quarter, a field invader ran out carrying pink flares. He escaped security for a while, but he did not get by the Rams linebackers. Oh, that had to hurt. And Peyton and Eli had something to say about it.
Here you go. Oh, yeah.
There he is. There he is. Yes.
Oh, yes.
That's what we're talking about. Wagner,
Bobby.
A veteran, right? Get him down. Now get
Got
out
another
and let these
tackle.
guys take over.
Oh,
Bobby Wagner, veteran play.
Peyton sounds like he would like to hit somebody since he's retired. All right, that's all for now. We'll be back later with the latest news and the best video right here on Denver 7 Sports. We'll see you then.
Coming up all new at 8, can you spot a fake listing online? A new type of misinformation is putting your health at risk and the pushback against it.